Hey everybody, welcome back to the Monday Q&A show, the show that answers your questions, helps you in a pinch, and is going to be full of DMR goodness this video. That's right, DMR. We'll talk about DMR later. That's right. But before we do that, I got a couple quick things, and I'm going to try to keep it even quicker than I normally do. First off, if you guys want to support the show, I got patches. I got the Tactical Corgi, Tactical Shiba. Got some Morel patches like the Bubble Tea one, and well, you know that one. And then, of course, logo patches like this one and the other one in the web store. All free shipping worldwide, all priced the same, no matter where you live in the world. Links in the corner and the description box below. Also, I'm going to be at Black Ops Paintball and Airsoft this weekend, as you guys know. In fact, if you guys are watching this, I'm probably already in the air. We're already heading out, because it's Monday, or somewhere magically back to America. And I will be joining that game 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Be a part of that, and I'll be fighting on the north side for that event. And if you want to join me, I would love to have you. I'll actually, if you want to share your footage with me, I would love to use that and make it part of it, but only if you're really on my side, or maybe if you do get a good kill of me too, that'd be good, so we can show both sides. I don't know. We'll talk some more. Come find me there at the game at Black Ops Airsoft in Fayetteville, North Carolina this coming weekend. But aside from that, don't forget this is your show. Questions in the comment section below. Those are where all these come from, and also your favorite videos from every single week from other Airsoft YouTubers. I want to help highlight those, even if it's your own channel. So enough about all that. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Ben writes, yo, that yellow rifle in the back, what is it, my guy? You mean this one? Yeah, I put it up there last week. Let me grab it. Yeah, let me swing on back here. Swing forward. This is actually this. Just in a shorter format. Let's see if I can get that back without... Hey, good, it stayed. All right, so that's this. This is the Ares. This is the Striker. This is not the ASO2, some of you guys may think. This is the ASO1. I put a shorter outer barrel on. They sent a whole bunch of stuff that's actually rounded and fluted, kind of Norbert style underneath. You can't really tell. This crazy handguard, I'm not sure if they ever released it. They kind of sent it to me. Muzzle brake, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, and I did the black and yellow theme. So that's kind of their thing. It's just the Striker, like I said, ASO1. It even says Striker ASO1 on here on the side. That's what this is. It's my shorty. I've actually played CQB with this thing, believe it or not. It was interesting, but I got actually a handful of kills. It was surprising. Unfortunately, my scope cam, I was having a lot of trouble with it that time. Couldn't get it because also the engagement's so close, the scope cam's like too zoomed. I turned this thing way down to like 350 feet per second so I could play indoors with it. It was definitely challenge mode, playing sniper rifle CQB. I had this and a pistol. Pistol's way more effective than a bolt action sniper rifle. But yeah, that's this. Banana was like, banana, I call it a banana. It is a banana rifle. It was like a special release they did like one time for it, but they were cool enough because of the company. My brand is yellow, right? So they were like, hey, we're gonna send you a yellow stock, and it was good. So yeah, this is something they did send me as a kind of a thing. They didn't pay me to talk about it at all, but it's just something that I do have a review of this coming. I have a full review done. I just got to publish it actually, get to edit and get it up. So I'm going to full review this. I know the ASO2's dropped. These things have been out for a while. I wanted to give it a good fair shake. I've used it in gameplay. I've had a lot of fun with it. And the results were surprising actually. So I know some of you have been asking for this. I will get it up in the next couple weeks. Actually, I will have this review for you. I know it's a hot one that you've been asking for a long time. So stay tuned. Dave Smith writes, hey, I've noticed the Airsoftology Podcast have been taken down or something. Do you have an archive of them or are they lost forever? So yeah, I kind of messed this one up a little bit. I've been keeping that going, since day one on the same hosting. I've been using a podcast hosting site since 2009 to host these things. Almost 10 years now. Wow, actually over 10 years. Last year, it was attached to a credit card for automatic billing. I just forgot. I didn't think about it. It expired. They were using an old email, much older email that I don't use anymore, and sending hey, you need to change this. We don't have your card number updated, and all these things. Anyway, long story short, it lapsed and they're gone. I need to go through my files and archives. I think I might have them somewhere. If I do, I might re-upload them. I've always talked about bringing the podcast back, although I don't know if it'll ever really happen. I've been trying to do just get, see if it's worth doing or not, time-wise, and YouTube's obviously been core for me. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure it's podcast time, but I would love to bring them back for you. Let me dig. They're going to be stateside. Like I said, I'm probably there right now, stateside, even though I'm talking to you from my studio in another country. But yeah, I'm probably there right now. I will dig through my archives of my computer, extra all the hard drives I used to keep, and see if I can find them. I should be able to pull most of the episodes. I think I kept an offline copy of them. But if not, they might be gone forever. It might just be time to reboot. Who knows? This is the twofer here, talking about DMRs, Oklahoma Airsoft by callsign Zilla, as well as New Airsoft. Oklahoma Airsoft asks about the first 2 upgrades that are most important in building a DMR, and in New Airsoft, he's going to be at Black Ops Airsoft running a DMR and these suggestions for up-and-coming rifles for DMRs. So right now, let's talk about up-and-coming rifles. There's unfortunately not a lot of new going on in this world. I think the M110, we're seeing some re-releases of it. I think VFC's got one in the works under the Knights license there. That's always a good one. I know G&G has some really cool 308 DMRs. The rifles, it could be a DMR because they are 308 caliber. I think they've got some really neat stuff, not based on a license, but their own design. And again, we'll talk about what's important, what is a DMR here in a second, and the role of the DM in Airsoft. So those are some cool going on. Also, I know the G3 is hot. It's kind of like what's old is new again. LCT has a really nice one out, a whole series of them actually. In fact, I got one in this cabinet hiding behind this sniper rifle right here. And then also, I think, Umarex is doing one, and it's going to be VFC made. I think it's a GBB on that one, so if you can get your hands on one of those. I saw that at IWA as well. So those are all the things going on in the DMR world that are new. Now, a DMR needs to be a heavy caliber weapon that can fire in semi-automatic. That's typically how it works in Airsoft. You're not gonna be able to fire full auto. You will have a minimum engagement, meaning you cannot shoot a player when they come within a certain distance. Usually it's 50 feet or around 20-ish meters, give or take, 18 to 20 meters, depending on where you're playing in the world. And you cannot engage, so you need to switch to like a sidearm, like a pistol, a submachine gun, or something else, a regular rifle, so you can engage them when they get within that distance. So like with that, but outside, on, have at it. Typically, they, like I said, they do fire semi-auto, and they repeat, so you don't have to cock the bolt every single time. And like I said also earlier, they need to be heavy round, so typically 7.62, 308, or we're looking at something on the the Russian side, you know, like anything with a larger caliber round that's semi-automatics, typically where we're going to be looking at on those two, like 7.62, 308, those kind of things. That's it. Bigger rounds. Typically, they're not going to fire full auto. They're going to be modified or locked to fire semi. That is how all of this works for it. So there's some up-and-coming new ones. As for upgrades, because you're going to have a power advantage. The disadvantage is, well, you can't shoot people within a certain distance. The advantage is, they don't want you shooting people that close because your gun is going to be able to shoot harder. They're usually going to give you a 50 feet per second boost, so like an 18 meters per second, 17 meters per second boost above your competition. That is awesome. That is super cool. Actually, probably about 15 meters a second more. So you will have effectively more power, which should give you more range. And you're going to be outrange the rifleman class, which will be everybody running around with their ARs and submachine guns and all that. But you won't quite be at the power level of a sniper rifle in that case. So that's the flip side, right? That's the positive and the negative trade-off. But you get to shoot semi-auto. You don't have to cock the bolt every time like you do on these guys. You can just keep pulling that trigger. So it's kind of the sweet spot in between. It lets you engage out farther, but at the same time, you may have a few disadvantages because of the larger magazines and a few other things. I think for upgrades, if you are an HPA fan, you live somewhere where it's allowed, I think this is the sweet spot for HPA. I think HPA is born for the DMR role, for semi-automatic, for adjustable power levels. Maybe you want to dial it down so you can go play indoors, you got the gun, and then you want to turn it back up. I think this is the sweet spot, like the Polar Stars, the Tippmann guns. I don't think Tippmann does anything in heavy though. All their stuff's like an M4 platform, unfortunately, so Tippmann won't work in this case. But anything with like a drop-in HPA system is perfect. Like I say, grab yourself something from the Polar Star world, couple it with that G&G gun I was telling you about, and you can have something very different and cool, as long as it's the 308. I think it's the 308 MBR. I think it's I forget the exact model number. G&G's got these really long model numbers on their guns. But I remember seeing it at SHOT Show. I've actually carried it and messed with it. It's a super cool looking gun. They've got some new variants of it this year as well. At IWA I saw. So all in all, super cool. Power, so upgrade the power. If not HPA, you want to make sure to upgrade that spring, get your power level up to whatever you're allowed to shoot at the maximum level. That is where you need to be. Don't be like, I'm going to get a cool gun and shoot 380 feet per second when you can be shooting 450 feet per second. You need to have that. Usually it's about an M130 spring, give or take, depending on the field, if you're looking at meters per second versus feet per second. So that is something to look at. The other thing to look at is accuracy, and that is super important too, because you're going to be taking semi-automatic shots. You won't have full auto, and you're going to be at farther distances. You're going to want to make sure your weapon is accurate. Your airsoft gun is very accurate. So in this case, I would look at a barrel and bucking combo. You can go, if you're a flat hop kind of guy, you can do R hops, flat hops, all that kind of stuff, any of that category of hop up. I think those are great for this. I also think a good traditional improved bucking, like a Prometheus purple, a G&G green, something along those lines, are all fantastic options, coupled with a great barrel. I'm a huge fan of Prometheus barrels. I know some people are like, well, I like this, I like that. There's tons of opinions out there. For consistency, I've always, for the 15 years or 14 years I've been playing airsoft, I've always leaned toward the Prometheus barrel. Ever since I started playing, it was the premium barrel for me. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not telling you to go out and get money from them, but I'm just saying for me, that's always been a consistent good purchase if you're looking for a upgraded barrel. That I think is important, to have a combination of those two things. Everything else is secondary to those. If you want, I think a third upgrade, if we're going to sneak one in before we wrap this thing up, is maybe a intelligent trigger system, something like a Gate Titan MOSFET, and will give you the option to do pre-cocking on that gun, meaning that it will, instead of the piston sitting in the front of the mech box, and when you pull the trigger, it goes back, and then it releases, and then it fires, pre-cocking keeps that piston back after your shot. So it starts the very first time, and it shoots, and it goes, and it fires, and then it comes back, and it waits. So when you pull the trigger, it just has to move the gears just a little bit to go forward, and then reset. It kind of makes your airsoft gun work in the opposite cycle. So instead of it being closed bolt, it's kind of open bolt. I don't know if that's a good example, but the piston's back, ready to go. It'll give you a little quicker trigger response, a little faster to fire there. Plus something like the Gate or any of those nice MOSFETs will give you that really crisp trigger feeling in there too. It's just that you can find that perfect break and you can just get that shot, because getting that shot sometimes matters. You have like you're engaging at longer distances, so you're going to have less time because of the BB travel to be able to get that target. So as soon as they pop out, you want to be able to get that shot off so that you can adjust for travel time, right? For the BB to get to the target, because you have typically a farther distance to go. That's just me. Those are my thoughts on it. If you guys have some, I'd love to hear about it down in the comment section below, just my opinions. And let me know what you guys are doing for DMRs out there when you play. All right, that is it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one I was going to do last week, and I ended up changing my mind on it at the last second because there was a different... Anyway, I'm going to come in this way. This one comes from Hoke07, and it's a double whammy. Last week it was just one, I think, he was recommending. Now he's doing a double whammy on this one. So I do remember. I do. It's Grim Reaper's Hungry channel, as well as Cy Panther's channel. Now, Cy Panther's a pair of guys. These are both Hungarian or Hungary based airsoft channels. And I'm going to have the first video going. This is going to be the Grim Reaper's up on my shoulder first. It's going to be followed up with the switch over to the Cy Panther's, if I'm pronouncing that right. Both of these are great, good channels, very undersubbed, like most that I support on here. They're extremely undersubbed channels. And what I like about it, it gives you a view of airsoft in different countries. I'm quite enjoying seeing what airsoft is like. You go into different places and I get a little window to see what airsoft's like. And I've been able to experience, fortunately, airsoft in other countries. And then I see some of this stuff, and it goes on in Europe, and I'm like, wow. That is cool. Get to all that stuff. So anyway, two great, fantastic channels. Kind of a 2-for-1 this week on this. And of course, Cy Panther's all English. So you're looking at that, all English subs, things like that. So you won't have to worry about brushing up on your language skills so you can enjoy the channel. I do think both of these are good, and kind of a double whammy for Hungary to give them a little bit of Airsoftology love, and of course love from you guys and gals. Make sure I have the links in the description below. Go click on those, check out the channels. If you like it, mash the sub button, let them know I sent you, and if you get a chance to travel to Hungary, go travel and go play some airsoft over there. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out this whole time. And until next week, I'll see you guys. Next week will probably be a little delayed because of the event I'll be going to. It's a 3-day weekend. Monday will be a travel day for me heading back. So I will be probably in the air on that one. If I can pre-film, I will try to get something done while I'm stateside. Pre-filmed maybe at the event, but usually they're pretty crazy. So next week's might be delayed by a day, and I might look incredibly jet lagged versus what I look like today. Because by the time I go there and then I come back, it's going to be perma jet lag. I'll never adjust. So anyway, just be patient with me next week, but make sure to mash the sub button so you guys get it, and don't forget the notification bell so you'll know exactly when the upload happens. In lieu of it, I know I mentioned this, I might, if I've got good service, we might do a Sunday instead of a Monday, and we might do kind of something semi-live. I might be sweaty and gross and dripping sweat and out there in my gear and all that, but I might do something semi-live-ish from the field. So make sure you guys are subbed and you got notifications turned on, because we might do something semi-live. I'll be answering questions, especially if you guys are awake, especially the North American, and I'll try to time it also so the European viewers, all you guys, North and South American, and the European viewers, will pick a time where all of you can be on at the same time and comment, and we'll do a weekend day too. So anyway, stay tuned on that. I think we might do that. Yeah, we'll do some semi-live stuff. Anyway, until next time, go out, play some air, have some fun. Go out, play some airsoft, have some fun. Don't even know my own tagline, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.